Good evening. In the presence of the Lord, providing ample care, I found new strength. He refreshes my soul. The concept of refreshing can have different nuances of meaning. It can literally mean that the shepherd brings the sheep back. This may indicate the physical return, something we also get at the end of the psalm. This may indicate the return to the kraal after the day's search for grazing and water. It may also indicate bringing the stray sheep back into the care and the protection of the flock with each shepherd. It invokes the imagery of the Lord who will bring back his people from exile. We read from Ezekiel 34 verse 11. For this is what the sovereign God says, I myself will search for my sheep and look after them. As a shepherd looks after the scattered flock when he is with them, so will I look after my sheep. I will rescue them from all the places where they were scattered on the day of clouds and darkness. I will bring them out of the nations and gather them from the countries. I will bring them into their own land, and I will pasture them on the mountains of Israel, in the ravines and in all the settlements in the land. I will tend them in good pasture, and the mountain heights of Israel will be their grazing land. They will lie down in the good grazing land, and there they will feed in a rich pasture on the mountain of Israel. I myself will tend my sheep and make them lie down, declares the sovereign Lord. As for you, my flock, this is what the sovereign Lord says. I will judge between one sheep and the other, between rams and goats. One can almost see before your mind's eye the shepherd carrying the lamb in his arms. Refreshment can also indicate a return in the sense of recovery to what it was before. The tired sheep regains new strength. The injured sheep recovers to be healthy again. The lost sheep returns to its position in the herd. What is noticeable in the psalm is that David specifically speaks of the soul that is refreshed. Soul indicates the whole being, and it makes it clear that it's about much more than physically recovery. The Lord, who is a shepherd, refreshes the soul. He refreshes the total human being. In its deepest sense, it refers to the salvation and the deliverance of man who was crippled by sin and took away under the care of the Lord. The meaning of this word is echoed by Peter in 1 Peter 2 verse 25. After all, you have wandered like sheep, but now you have returned to your shepherd and the guardian of your life. He refers to the salvation in Christ. In him, the bringing back, the care, the restoration of man takes place. It is in his and through his shepherding that man returns to God's image, is brought back, is safely placed in the flock, and is restored to his worthy position before the Lord. It is through him that the man is saved from death, because there is one last possible meaning, namely that the term refers to a unique problem in sheep farming called the casting of the sheep. Sheep can sometimes, for various reasons, fall onto their backs and then they cannot get up again. This can mean that their death and they are defenseless against predators, and the lack of blood supply in their legs does not make it possible for them to walk immediately, even if they are turned around. The word is used with this meaning possibility in the well-known Psalm 42, where the writer asks, "Why do you bow down, O my soul?" And then it is refreshed by the trust in the Lord. The sheep is totally dependent on the shepherd to get him back on his feet. So we as humans are totally dependent on the Lord for our soul, for our whole being. He comes in His grace to save us, to pick us up, to carry us, to bring us home, to save us from death. The Lord is my shepherd. He refreshes my soul. Good night.